Hey everyone, it's Todd, and I just wanted to touch base with you guys a little bit on post hole diggers. If any of you guys are planning on putting in a lot of fence posts for whatever reason, a garden, livestock, whatever, and you don't have a tractor with a post hole digger on it for PTO, and you're going to do it by hand, you know, a lot of stores, they sell you these things, and they work okay. You know, you're pounding it into the ground and bringing it out like that to grab onto the soil, and then bringing it out and dumping it. I don't like these things. I've busted my knuckles on them. I just don't think they grab the amount of dirt that they should. And usually they only come in maybe 5 to 6 inches. This is an older pair, heavy duty, and they're really heavy. And they're about 6 inches, longer handle. And that's another thing. They got permanent wood handles, which means you can only dig down so deep. So I'm a true believer. My dad and grandpa always used the Auger post hole digger, and they come in different sizes, which is nice. And if you buy them at the store, I'm telling you, they're not cheap at the hardware store anymore. The best place to buy them is at an old farm auction. I picked up, besides the one I was given by my dad, but I picked up a variety of sizes at sales for between $5 and $20, and then restored them. And the sizes you have here, the ones I like, if you're going to get one, I'd get the bigger one, the 8-inch. And even though you don't need an 8-inch for a post hole maybe, or whatever you're digging for, they make them all different sizes. Usually the smallest size is a 4-inch. And like I say, it's narrow. I'm not really sure what purpose other than a small post would be for something like that. But I wouldn't recommend it. I'd stick with the 8-inch. It's as big as you probably are going to need unless you're putting in a telephone pole size post. But everything I've done with my livestock fencing, my garden, anything, I've always used an 8-inch auger. And what's nice about these is this one's permanent, but the one my dad and others use, those are pipes. They're 1-inch pipes, and so you can unthread this, add a pipe length to it, and you can make this 12 feet long, 8 feet long, or you can just stick to the common, 4-foot long post to dig down in. And that's what's nice about it is if you gotta get down a little deeper, you add that extra length, and you can even go down to a foot, 2 feet if you don't want the long 8-foot, 10-foot post. But you start out with the smaller length, and you just add to it as you go down. And that's what's nice about that. It's real flexible. But I tell you what, I'll try to demonstrate how easy it is. But you can auger the soil, and then when you pick this up out of the hole to dump it, it really stays nice and packed in there. So you can almost get about 8 inches, 6 inches of soil out of that hole easy. And I just like them. I would recommend these. But these are real nice to use. The only thing you really need is maybe a spade to get that sod out, that beginning hole. And you can start out with a 4-inch to 6-inch hole with about 2 inches down, and then start in with this auger all the way to the depth you need, and you can get down to 3 feet pretty simple. Now if you got hard rocky soil, well then it's going to be a little difficult. If you got small rocks or it's gravelly, you might want those other type of diggers, because the rocks, small rocks, not small, I'd say medium-sized rocks and bigger rocks will give you problems sometimes with these augers. But that, I'm telling you, if you live on a farm or out in the country and you're going to do posts, it would be worth your money to find one of these, fix it up if it's used, and just keep them nice. And I tell you what, you'll really appreciate them. I do have a 6-inch one, but I don't use, like I say, I don't use the 4 or 6 inch. It's just too small for what I always needed a hole for. So I got a couple 8 inches and I use them all the time. So that's just an idea that I thought I'd pass on to you guys. If you've never seen one of these, I know most of you have been into like Lowe's or Home Depot and you've seen these type. And I know a lot of people, I've seen them use them for their fences in town. And you know, unless you get a motorized auger, I would go with the handheld auger. And you can find them. You just gotta go online or go to the right hardware store that carries these. And I'm telling you, if you buy a new one, they're not cheap. And it's worth your time to just shop around at an auction maybe and find one. Anyway, thanks everyone, and I'll give you a small clip maybe how fast it is to dig a hole with one of these. Thanks, bye-bye.